Let's get started. Okay, so recording is there. I hope everybody has pen and sheet right, because we'll do a few things today. So uh, the session today is around cracking the corporate code. Now, the idea is for everyone at different stages of journey they are. There are people like Arun sir who are obviously targeting C levels, and then there are people like Shuli who are essentially kind of starting the journey, or who have started the journey and then they are planning to upgrade, and then Dinesh as well, who has just started the journey. So there are in multiple stages, but at the same time, the same underlying framework works in. So we will talk about how to crack the corporate code, irrespective of where in the journey you fit in. The idea is essentially to kind of have some method to the madness, how to essentially navigate the right roles for us, and essentially kind of move forward with it. Because as you kind of narrow down your choices, you become more streamlined. You start focusing more on the aspects of the cohort where you want to dive deeper. So, uh, the idea is by the end of today, you will know the role, you'll know the gaps. I'll also share a tool which is de facto the best job hunting tool that I've found in recent times. So I've used it personally also. Recently, I also kind of converted a new role. So, but more on that later because negotiations are still going on. That has been extremely useful for me, and hopefully that becomes useful for everyone else. Uh, First things first, I would expect everyone to make clear notes and take pictures of it. We will upload those to AI and improve. The idea would be that everything that we are doing today, as the new paradigm changes, the idea is for the documentation, once we do the documentation, we take images of it and upload it on the AI system, which we will talk about tomorrow, when we'll talk about how to use the AI tools uh, perfectly. And essentially, there, all these things would actually be serving you to essentially become better. So make sure you take in clear-cut images. Once you kind of take in notes, make sure that you take notes in a little bit clear manner for yourself so that the AI is able to read it through also, and you don't have to correct it a lot. Just an set of acknowledgements I wanted to do. Last time I shared uh, before the session, right? I asked people to essentially kind of fill in the form. There are a few people who couldn't fill the form due to time constraints and all. But for those who have filled, right, I want to acknowledge them. Hey, that's super awesome. Thanks for filling it. And it gives me a lot of perspective and details as to what areas I need to essentially, I meaning I'll use I and Naveen and I interchangeably, right? So for us to essentially kind of help in everyone to kind of get the best out of code. If you haven't filled it, or in case of Pranav and Shuli, it's not already shared, I'll share with you after the session. So you can essentially go ahead and fill it. Just a few ground rules I wanted to set very quickly. First is please trust the process at least for next 1 2 weeks. After that, right, I'll take in the feedback and adjust accordingly. But day one will not answer all the questions and concerns. Please hold the horses. Intentionally, few dots will be left unconnected. You only connect dots when you look backward. Sometimes those questions have to be left in so that we come back and connect them later. So that is intentional. If at any point of time you have a question, post the question on chat or raise hand. We'll take it from time to time. That will make sure that the entire session completes on time and we are able to ensure the coverage as well. Post session, if you have concerns, you can reach out to me or Naveen. We will address it within a day or two maximum. We will be able to respond. If there's any emergency situation like you have an interview tomorrow, then obviously we'll be able to accommodate that immediately also. Ideas, we are not competing internally. We have a world to beat. There are enough competitors outside. We are in it together. So wherever you see that you can help someone, please do help them. And after session, just spend 10 minutes. I know it becomes painful. 2 hours is not a normal attention span, but those 10 minutes would be worth everything, right? I mean, it will compile everything you have learned. I don't like the concept of doing revisions. I believe in doing right the first time itself. So uh, once you kind of go through it, once you do the session, just sit quietly for 10 minutes and just think about the things that you have been able to kind of learn through. That internal memorization will serve you really well. Uh, in the next 90 minutes or 90 to 120 minutes, we will try to discover who am I in corporate terms. We will try to do personality mapping a little bit more deeper. I know some of you already have used Career Compass tool, but this is a little bit more detailed. Tried to develop it use based on my learnings and speaking with some of the professors in my college also, to how to essentially kind of identify the right personality type and find out top two roles based on the recommendation. The idea is, as you kind of progress along the career path, you oftentimes we come up, hey, is this the career I want to move forward with, or is there something which is slightly divergent which I can take in? So ideally, everybody talks about product market fit, but there's one more concept called founder market fit. Is the founder fit for the market? Similarly, there's a personality role fit. If that particular personnel is actually his internal characteristics match for according to the role requirements or not. So we'll try to discover that a little bit more. It will be a short exercise which we'll do. Second is, once you lock in your role, we would essentially kind of try to find out the competency gaps. I will try to showcase the competency gaps once, but then I would ask you to internally rate yourself as to where you think for yourself where the competency gap exists. It's not for sharing to others, it's for sharing with yourself to make sure that you are extremely kind of uh, harsh, or I would say not harsh, but I mean strict on yourself from, from the point of view that you are doing it for your own learning. So similarly, I will also do during that time. I will do it for my own learning also. And then how to actually apply for the roles, the right tools that are available in there, which would essentially kind of discover. So these three things, the idea is we cover these things from the start. Is as you kind of progress on the cohort and kind of go deeper into multiple concepts, you already know where your eyes are. So accordingly, you would go about optimizing different areas. Accordingly, you would ask better set of questions. Accordingly, you will be more prepared. Uh, Before we start, just one more thing which I wanted to kind of talk about. The path of least resistance is generally the most expensive path. You might have seen it with your investments also. If you start putting everything in FD, what are the returns? I mean, post taxes, once you reach a particular slab, your post tax returns come to around 4.75%, if I'm not mistaken, to the best FD rates that are possible here. If that applies to investment, that also applies equally well to our lives also. Path of least resistance is not great. So uh, so whatever you are doing, if you are still in service, you are doing 2 years in corporate, or you are looking for a C-suite role, the default move is often the most expensive one, because once we opt for the default move, we tend to miss out, we tend to overlook on the opportunities that lie in front of us. So generally what I've seen is people who tend to transition, hey, this is the area which will be easiest for me. If they choose the area which is easiest, generally they lose out on money, they lose out on time, and they lose out on their career trajectory as well. Because coming out of comfort zone, in a sense, is always better. So just I wanted to kind of mention this so that we are kind of aligned that there will be times in God where little bit discomfort would be there. but try to essentially kind of do that. I mean, you can only, I mean, I have started running a bit. I'm trying to kind of run a little bit more every day. I know it's very painful, but I know what will be the returns later on. So same things can be applied to our career as well. So so that is there. Any questions before we start? Up till this point, anybody is having, or shall we proceed? If yes, then give me a yes. If uh, if there are no issues, please give me a yes quickly on chat. Just type in yes quickly. Cool, cool. What about others? When the session will be for 2 hours. Uh, okay. And what about Shuli? What about Pranav? I need all the yeses quickly. No worries, Vinay. You can drop in between also. There's no worries. For this session specifically, the exercise that are there will complete in 60 minutes only. So don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. So the first thing that we will actually do is we will discover what are our strengths and uh, what I have essentially kind of so there's a model called RISEC model which has been used, which you might be aware, right? Some of you might have already been a part of and might have led uh, the SSB interviews and as well, where a model is used to essentially kind of predict which role might be the best fit for the individual. This is a slightly tweaked version of it. Uh, the idea is to discover, right, uh, that what are our inherent strengths and where we would be the best fit. The wrong way to look at things is what roles pay the most. Uh, and oftentimes people burn out. Like, for example, I myself chase that dream. I wanted to be investment banker. Uh, in 2016, I got a chance to move to Wall Street. I worked with a very major entity as a consultant. It's called Apollo Global Management. They manage almost $200 billion in AUM. Very nice office. Fifth Avenue, 57th Street. For those who are already aware, that is extremely, extremely best place to be. It's right in front of Trump Tower. And uh, after 1 year, I felt that's not the place I want to be, and that often happens with all of us. I'm sure all of us would have similar stories. At one point, we over optimize for money, and that's not a great thing to do, because ultimately, as we kind of start over, we become older, more angrier, and then we start blaming all the external things uh, as well. The right way is what I am wired to be great at. You start from your standard strengths and then you kind of build faster. So now to identify where our strengths are, I think this is the link which I'm sharing, which I want everyone to open. And I want you to essentially complete it. I'll show you how it is. And then I want everyone to kind of complete it. So this is an assessment which you need to do. Uh, you need to click on start assessment and you just need to answer these questions without thinking a lot. For example, what resonates more? I'd rather build or fix things, or research and analyze data points. So you would be asked a set of 30 questions. You need to answer them in almost 5 to 10 minutes. And once that is there, once this is done, I want you to take a photograph of the output that is there. So I'm just doing this exercise very quickly for myself. You don't need to do it this way. You need to kind of do it uh, do it by actually looking in it. And then you need to actually take 1 or 2 images so that, by the way, you can press Control minus to take everything in one shot also. and I want you to take image of once you have completed, I want you to take image of this. Sounds fair? Any question? Hey Rakshit, thanks for joining in. You haven't missed a lot. I have shared a Claude link. Uh, People need to click on that link and they just need to kind of complete one assessment. Sounds fair? Arun sir, sounds fair? Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start the clock. Uh, so it's 11:17. By 11:25, I'm expecting everyone to complete it. Please click on the link and complete the assessment. Hey, all good. If you are all good, just please press yes, others also, right? So I know that you have started the assessment. Okay. Vinay, you have started? I'm
Yes,
Raksh.
I'm doing.
Yeah, okay, okay, please. Don't try to rush it. If it takes a little bit more time, it's okay. Let me do it myself also. Okay, as you have done it, please type in done. Hey, Rakshit was driving and he joined in, so I'm like, "Man, please drop." You can watch the recording. It's scary to do that. Cool. So, Arun sir, I would want you to take an image of it.
Sure.
And did it match what you are doing currently?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. So please take one or two images. All right. Maybe you can take out your you can take a screenshot from your phone. All right.
Sure.
Whatever you want to take in. So we we will store all this data in Notebook LM, and then uh, it will essentially serve really well. What about others? Have they filled it? Cool. Awesome. You don't rush, right? I mean, if more time needed, let me know. I'll just wait for 2 more minutes. You can unmute and tell also if you have joined by phone and you are finding it difficult to type in then.
Can we save this somewhere, right?
We'll save it. You have taken images, right?
Ah,
So sir, what we will do is tomorrow we'll do a session on Notebook LM, which is one of
okay.
the tools for Google. What we will do is we will start storing these images in this.
All right.
So idea is, sir, so this will be an AI which will be trained on all the things that you have been doing in 9 weeks.
All right.
So it'll serve as a dual AI guide, right? Because that is something where you can have, and since it's by Google, right? I mean, Google already knows everything about you. So you can have the conversation there with it even more. So please do capture the images, and like I am also taking the screenshot of it. Yeah, cool, Dinesh. Cool, Shuli. Uh, who's left? The, I think three more people are left right now.
I'm just about to finish.
Sure, sure, sure. No worries. See, my result came out this, and like I seriously did it that ways. And second was our enterprise sales. This is also something I have thought about, right? That I should go in enterprise sales also. And risk compliance, I'm not a risk compliance person. It kind of gave me clearly. Quite surprisingly, if you might be aware, I also did FRM part one. FRM is Financial Risk Manager. So I did the exam. I spent a lot of money. It's a tough exam to crack in. Later on, only to realize this that I am not actually a fit for it. So, awesome. And is there anyone left which I didn't? Pranav, you have done it, right? Pranav posted it already, right? Okay. I'm assuming everybody has done it. Rakshit, you can do it later when you reach home. Please drive safely. Right. So now, please, I'm assuming everybody has taken snapshot also, right? Because it will be useful for you later, right? So please do take in the snapshot as well. Now, uh, yeah, please take in snapshot. Spend 1 more minute to take. Okay. Now, okay, awesome. Now, I want you to take your notebook and actually take notes, right? So my Holland code, whatever is your Holland code, like for example, my Holland code is ARI. So I will write in ARI, right? My top recommended role is uh so it's ARI. My top recommended role is product management. Second one is enterprise sales. And gut check, in my case, uh, it feels right, but it may or may not be right, based on your gut check, right? And then you need to write in one line, which is why this result makes sense or doesn't make sense. So for example, in my case, I would write in something like, in my case, the result would actually make sense because I am inherently a creative person. Product management gives me that creative flexibility, and it gives me more autonomy, which also aligns with how I am as well. So it kind of brings in the artistic and realistic elements together, and enterprising elements as well. So it kind of makes sense for me. But in your case, if you don't like it, right, or if you like it, be fair, right? Be fair, be honest, right? Just please write this line, and I want you to take image of it once you have written it. So, like for example, I'll take image with my phone also. You need to also take an image with your phone. All this that we are doing will be fed to AI. So make sure you are extremely honest. And this is how I have written. Right. So let me show that also. So that will make much clear. Just background, none. Okay. So this is how I have written. Right. So ARI, right. So you also need to write in this ways. And one line also, right? Right. So I've completed it. Now, similarly, you have to do it for yourself and take an image of it. Please take an image of it. Once done, please type in yes. If anybody is having any concern, they are free to speak out.
Can you just repeat? I just missed out something. You have to write the Holland code,
Mhm.
then the gut check.
No, then, so here in the screen, my screen is getting shared, right?
Yeah,
So you can see, right, my Holland code, your top recommended role one, top recommended role two, which came out here,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I got it.
Uh,
Written that.
And then gut check, does it feel right or not? Because it might be right. I mean, they are basically set of rules. They might or might not comply with what you are internally thinking. So yes or no or surprised, whatever it is. And one line, why this result makes sense or doesn't make sense.
Fine. Got
Equal
it.
is it good. Once done, you just have to take an image of it uh, and save it in your phone right now. But don't delete it. Tomorrow we will use it for feeding to AI.
Just one thing I was surprised about, like gut feeling, I feel yes with my results, but like on the other hand, one line why this result makes sense. Like my first and second recommendation has come as cybersecurity and infosec.
Mhm.
I which I am satisfied with the answer, the recommendation. But the thing is, with coding and all, I'm not very comfortable with coding, though my background is computer science. But coding and all, I'm very a bit averse to. So it has come cybersecurity and infosec. So I
Doesn't matter.
was
Doesn't matter. You
so
you to
yeah,
right for the first recommendation. I am aligned. Right, that this is there for the second or whatever it is. Right, for the second
yes,
recommendation, it doesn't make sense. Right, uh, right. You just need to kind of mention it, right, and it would essentially kind of see the idea is to being true, right? Idea is
yes, yes.
this is not we are I mean your answer can be completely different from someone else, which is okay. We just need
Okay.
to use it because then uh, we want AI to work as our core brain, right? So we have to
Yes, yes,
testing inputs.
So there's one thing, Navidya.
Mhm,
In my case, it says 88% for project management, program management,
mhm,
and 81% for product management. So it is the difference is almost, I would say, 5 to 6%.
mhm.
So how do you differentiate in that
Then
situation?
you can be fit for both roles.
Okay, okay.
Then, right, depending on where your, uh, if you want to have a slightly more creative side, I mean, depends on like, uh, you can be good in two areas as well, right? So depending on like, hey, I have hovered this area, let me try out that area also. So,
Understood, understood. So it's not totally ruled out kinds.
it's not a rule out kind of. Both the options are good enough. The now then those factors come in. Like in my case, 77 and 71% it came. So in my case, I would essentially kind of then other factors can come in play. Okay. It doesn't have to be 100% fit for anything.
Got it.
Hey, I see Naveen also joining. Hey Naveen.
ACS Chatani Vizag.
Hello.
या मैं आपको थोड़ी देर में कॉल करूँ मैं कभी क्लास में हूँ ओके ठीक है
Naveen, I think you are not audible. But yeah, Naveen, if you can hear me, right, then if at any point of time you feel to drop because you have one more
Yeah, I think my headset was connected. I was keep giving on my inputs in between. I think that were not audible to you. So a very good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining the session. I was also following along with everyone to identify whether I'm on right track or not. But Arun sir, one quick add-on to your query because uh, myself also from the same journey, a project manager turned into program manager now turned into a product manager. So a project manager usually will be following a set of frameworks and completing the project. But if you have that intuition to find out the problem statement out of the situation and then want to improvise on that, then you will become a product manager. So these have like most of the overlapping things these two roles have. And I think that 5% difference which your answer is saying, it means that you have that intuition to solve the problem rather than following the frameworks.
correct so that that instinct inside me resonates with what is trying to convey to
Yes,
us
yeah.
sir.
understood
Okay, so hey, by the way, thanks Naveen for the input, right? So uh, Pranav, everything is available. You don't have to worry about everything will be shared. Everything will be placed in LMS. Uh, you can make one for yourself also. You want to make one right now for yourself? Is that what you are asking for? I can share it right now also if you want. Okay. So I'm assuming, right, that was there. Everything, yeah. Okay, okay. I have saved in, you have saved in Notepad, but you want me to share it right away also, right? Okay. Anyone with the link can be a viewer. I'm just copying the link and just pasting it here. You can download it and place it here also, right, for yourself. But yeah, all the content, everything will be available in LMS. Now, uh, the second thing which we would essentially want to do, right? I mean, assuming out of the two choices that you got, right, or the other choices that you saw, right, we would essentially kind of try to essentially look at the broad six roles that are in there. I'll just kind of try to give a brief about each of those areas, right? So product management, as Naveen also mentioned, I'll just kind of expand a bit more. uh, Product manager typically owns the why and what of the product, right? Uh, that person gets involved to talking to the customer and decides what gets built. For example, when I was at Paytm, I was working on optimizing KYC. Now, KYC is basically you do before you get onboarded to the Paytm app. Uh, when I looked at data, there was a consistent drop off of users, which were essentially kind of trying to complete the KYC journey. And then I started looking deeper into data. I realized something very interesting, which is most of the dropouts were happening in Punjab and Rajasthan region when people were clicking their photos. Their photos were not getting matched with their Aadhaar card or PAN card that they uploaded. Can anybody give me the reason why this problem occurs more in Rajasthan and Punjab? It's actually a very interesting and no marks for giving a wrong guess.
The beard and the thing. Hmm.
Yes, turban, beard and turban.
Yeah.
So then we later on improvised in our app and actually introduced the fact that, hey, please make sure that your forehead is visible. If you are wearing turban or pug, please move it there. And once we kind of introduced that small thing, uh, I mean, our drop off actually reduced by 15%. So it was a small change, but to uncover that change, it actually took a lot of time, and it saved us almost 5.5 crore rupees on an annual basis. So, uh, but coming to that change took us few months. So product management is about owning the why and what of the product, what innovative thing can be done, what is the true problem that is there. The parallel to that is project and program management. Project and program manager. So product manager is more creative. He would think in cloud, but then there's someone who has to actually keep things on ground. He owns the planning, sequencing, and delivering under pressure. How different teams would coordinate. Because my feature, KYC feature, also involved engagement with multiple other teams also. They have to also accommodate my change. So there's a person who is driving the project and program side of things. How compliances will work. How would we ensure that by the time this delivery of new feature happens, the other features are also upgraded to the same level? How can we ensure that, okay, the customer is getting the thing on time, we are not over budgeting, right? So it's almost, the role is very similar to on a when you are at leadership level, it's very similar to how a general or how an admiral would actually operate. They would actually look at how and when, how planning sequencing would happen, how we would essentially be able to deliver under pressure. It's a it's a peer role. One is more creative focused, one is more execution focused. So that's owning the how and when of the product. Then there comes the role of operations and supply chain. So I work with a lot of supply chain partners there because I take care of AI platforms, and Walmart is inherently a supply chain company before anything else. So it's about, so when you place an order on a website, then there is a team that needs to ensure that everything gets fulfilled on time, right? Your vendor partnerships are going well. You are able to replenish the stock. You are able to, we use something called as on-time ship and on-time delivery. Are we able to ship on time? Are we able to deliver on time? And on the vendor side, we have something called as on time in full. Is the vendor providing things on time and in full or not? All those things are related to supply chain. So that's the person who runs the machine, logistics, fulfillment, vendors, throughput, that is the person that ensures that. Then there's cybersecurity, which is basically involved in defending the enterprise. And with AI era, this is involving into a very, very hot role. The reason for that is that as AI kind of you might have started already seeing when you log into Amazon or when you log into Google, they ask for a very complicated captcha right now. Like what is 23 into 5? And now they ask you to compare images, how many images you are seeing bicycle. The reason for that is they are somehow trying to find out what things AI cannot do. So cybersecurity folks are essentially involved in protecting the organization's assets from their material data from getting exposed. Uh, it's a very it's involving into a very hot role, but I would say something being hot in menu and something which is inherent to you, because trends come and go, but your frame of mind, like for example, I really love teaching. That's why I am able to work from Monday to Friday, take sessions on Saturdays and Sundays, and still be excited about things. And I have 20 things planned for today also. So similarly, if I take example, I'm taking example of Arun sir because I had a conversation with him and he told me about that uh, program initiative he ran in, where a lot of people from underprivileged background, they actually were enabled to kind of educate them. Now, if that is a passion, you are able to put more without getting burnt out more. So, I mean, if somebody tells, hey, my job only requires 5 hours, I'm like, I don't count hours. I count fun in it. I mean, if it's fun, then I can. I mean, if you ask me to watch Dhurandhar movie again, I'll watch it again, even if it's 3 hours. If you ask me to see a lecture which is boring, I cannot even spend 20 minutes. So, that's there. Then there's enterprise sales. Now, if you are good at kind of selling things, if you are able to develop relationships, and if you are able to carve out win-wins in scenarios where like the other person also will win and you would also win, then enterprise sales is a very good space to be in. Usually, the C levels, inherently in whichever space you are, sales is the most important skill which you need to know in. But if you want to specialize in that area, then there's enterprise sales. Basically, no matter you are selling software or you are selling stuff, you are selling equipments, doesn't matter. Enterprise sales essentially come in there. And then there's risk and compliance. If you are very good at methodically observing patterns, you make sure that people stick to process. Like for me, it's very difficult, but I actually need a program manager who is good in compliances. So if you are able to do that, then that role is also very, very high paying, where you are able to drive an audit, you are able to drive in governance, you are able to drive in controls. uh, a simple example, again, this happened with me at Paytm. Paytm Paytm stock dropped from 2000 rupees to 600 rupees because they didn't adhere to compliances. So no matter how much innovation you do, if you are unable to kind of adhere to compliances and risk, there's an inherent risk you are introducing to the system. So it kind of caught literally the team off guard because there were key gaps that were missing in. So no matter how much innovation and everything happens, you also need to make sure that risk controls, all those features are also in there. Uh,
What's ERC, David?
uh,
What is GRC that you mentioned?
Yeah, so global risk and compliances that
Oh,
you
okay, understood.
GDPR, all those.
Understood, understood.
So, uh, however, different roles weigh them differently. However, there are few things that every role requires. One is strategic thinking. Now, when I use the word strategy, like everyone, and this is like this happens with me also a lot of time. Whenever somebody is telling strategy, I am like, okay, now we are getting into the story era, the Wonderland, Cinderella world we are entering. So, but strategy is extremely, extremely important because you are able to see three moves ahead. Uh, for example, Casio watches, if you look at it, right? Now, Casio focused on making sure that they create extremely, extremely durable watches. And I was reading the paper, I'll share with everyone also. Casio is a marvel in Japanese innovation and also Japanese strategy. Casio stood the test of time in the era of Apple watches, and now again you might have been seeing, right? Analog watches are coming in back in big way. But Casio is one of those brand. If somebody is wearing it, you would still like even though the other person is wearing, say, Patek Philippe or those kind of expensive watches, y- they are still looked. Those watches are still looked with a lot of respect. Now, Casio intentionally decided not to enter into colored LCD region. Instead, they thought that, hey, we'll keep the 80s vibe alive. What we'll do is we'll ensure extreme durability, we will give the most required features, and we will stick to our precision engineering. Overall, what happened was Casio's sales were constant for some time, but again, they have started to, in fact, they are next year forecasting to sell almost 20 times the number of smartwatches that are sold collectively. So it's a strategic thinking. There are multiple books which I'll share, but I'll also share tomorrow a better way to learn from books so that books almost become a thinking partner for you. We'll also use a few tools which will allow you to do that. Second is execution discipline. This is again needed, taking a way goal, shipping on time. Execution discipline also comes from the fact of being resourceful. In our language, we use it as jogadu, someone who can do jogad. Right now, this is a very, very looked down upon skill, but trust me, every C-level executive that I have met is also a jogadu person. He would find out ways to solve the problem, right? And that is one thing that is needed. This competency I will also focus on. In fact, the entire idea for me to kind of do a lot of hands-on exercises for building your execution discipline muscle. Then stakeholder influence, getting people who don't report to you. There's also something that is very important in that sense. We will also focus on developing this stakeholder influence. The entire artifacts that you would design in is for making sure that your first 15 minutes of stakeholder influence are driven. Whether you are giving an interview or whether you are making people, you always need to drive people. And there's a difference in corporate. In military, you can drive through ranks. In corporate, you can only drive through influence. You can only influence people to be at your side. And that is something which becomes a very important skill in any avenue that you go. Fourth is data and analytics, which is reading numbers, building dashboards, defending decisions with data. Especially in AI for operations management, when we'll study, we'll focus a lot on data and analytics and how to drive that quickly. AI does the heavy lifting, but still you need to essentially kind of build more on that because AI overlooks a lot of trends and patterns. So we'll talk about how to avoid AI slop as we proceed on. Fifth is domain and technical depth, the tools, the jargons, the patterns, because your interviewer or whenever you are essentially kind of entering into a space, you have to be aware about a lot of jargons that kind of exist in that space. For example, me driving the veteran cohort, I have to be aware of a lot of military jargons as well. And Naveen kind of assists me a lot in kind of filling that gap for me. So That's again a very important factor that is there. And finally, communication and storytelling. Storytelling, like a lot, I'm assuming a lot of you already have managed kids. You know the power of stories, right? That same storytelling has to exist in, regardless of the domain that we exist. People understand with stories more. When we will talk tomorrow, I will explain you a little bit complicated concept, which is now common also, which is called APIs. I'll explain you through a plumber example. And that helped me understand as well because somebody explained me that way. So storytelling is also a skill which every role tests you. So idea is that we develop these skills as well. Which role demands which competency is here. And the reason this entire program is designed around AI is because for all these roles, AI is like a bedrock piece that kind of is there. AI applies to every area right now. And as we proceed to the 2030s, to 2040s and beyond, right? Without AI, right? It's almost like being we use the term, right? Anguta chap, right? I am assuming without AI, even someone who has done a PhD would actually reach that same level. It is becoming a massive, massive level. So that is common. But if you look at here, product management requires having a very strong strategy muscle in place and a strong influence and data understanding. However, technical area, right, you can be strong at it, right, and you can also avoid a lot of technical areas if you choose to. And execution also, right, you just have to be good at it, but not like exceptional. But strategy, influence, and data, these three areas you have to be very good at. Similarly, for project management, execution, influence, influence is common with product, but here you need to be very good at execution also. And communication is required in both those areas. Operations requires execution, and data skills have to be top notch. Cybersecurity requires execution, data, and technical. Sales requires influence and communication. Risk requires more strategy, technical, and communication. Now, if you look at the reason I am kind of walking through this is just to explain that the gaps are extremely narrow. So you can choose to move to almost any domain. The idea is to specialize in one or two areas. I'm not saying one because the world changes so fast, the demand changes so fast that you cannot be like simply be complacent. Okay, I'll just specialize in one area or the other. And this is regardless of age. But one or two areas which you choose, you need to choose mappings which are almost common. For example, somebody who is in risk and compliance, right? For him to move to the product part inherently becomes more difficult because here you have to drive in a lot of influence and you would not spend a much time in doing influence part. The reverse is also true. If you would ask someone from product and project to actually move to cyber security, then they have to spend a lot of time on technical side. So we need to kind of simplify things for us and also keep our own whatever enthusiasm that is there in mind. Hey Raghu sir, thanks for joining in. We
I
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
thank you so much. Firstly, my apologies. I was attending to a patient, so I couldn't join on time. Um, I'm so grateful that you all are doing so much, and I have an opportunity. At the age of 57, I can see the hope in whatever you are doing, and lot of sense. Thank you so much. And Naveen, thank you so much.
Sure, sir.
Thank
Thank you for joining, sir.
yeah. So so we are so thanks for joining in, sir, and thanks for your encouraging words, right? So we are in the midst of discussing a few things. So I'll share with you, right? You don't have to worry in terms of what we have covered. I'll share with you what is there. Uh, And yep, uh, we'll kind of take things from here. So these are the roles which demand competence. Now you don't need to kind of note it down. This also will feed to AI. So tomorrow you plan to switch from one role to another, and the things we have noted down, it will create a chart for you that hey, these things we have to study now, or we have to kind of build now. So the idea is just to kind of walk you through that hey, there are some non-negotiable skills, there are some negotiable skills which we need to keep in mind. And by the way, by no means one skill is difficult than other or easier than other. Every skill in itself is there. Uh, now, now this is something which we need to do as an activity. I want you to rate yourself on strategy to comms. Now, again, ideal would be to do it on pen and paper and then take an image of it, or you can do it on the you can create a copy of the slide also and rate it on strategy, on execution, on influence, on data, on technical side, and on communications. Five being I can literally teach this skill tomorrow. If you wake me up at 3 a.m., I am still ready to kind of teach that. One being I have no exposure. Now, again, this is something you are doing for yourself, for your own personal self. So I would want you to be as honest as possible. The idea is take a pen and paper, write down strategy, write down execution, write down influence, write down data, technical, and rate yourself on 1 to 5. Uh, shall we start? Just give me a yes quickly.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sure, sure, sure. Cool. We'll spend roughly 2 minutes. Please complete it. And then after that, you have to take this image on your phone. Tomorrow, we will feed it to AI. And please be brutal on yourself.
Navedya, can you share those headings? Strategy, execution,
Influence, data, technical, and communication.
and communications. And this is to be rated on the scale of
1 to 5. 5 being you are expert in it. 1 being you have least exposure, and anything in between means like
yeah.
yeah. Once done, I would suggest please type in yes and also take a photo of it. Cool. Awesome. Uh, okay. Done. Done. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Cool. So I'm assuming everybody has done it. Okay, let's proceed. So now this is something which we will need to do in which is where you scored 2 and where you scored a 2 or a 3, right? And you are seeing that okay, this is an important skill for your role. then in that case, we would need to identify it as a critical gap. For example, if if I am recommended as a product management role, which got recommended by the tool that we used earlier, now I am seeing that, okay, in influence, I have rated myself as 2. Now that becomes a critical gap for me. For example, I have rated myself as 4 on communication, 5 on data, 3 on influence, and 3 on strategy. That means for the product management role, which was for which I got rated highest, this is one of the areas which I need to work on. This is one of the areas which I need to work on. Okay. So next step you need to do is just write down the top 2 roles that were recommended for you in the earlier step, right? Like for example, in my case, product management and enterprise sales. And against that, what are the areas where I have rated myself 3 or below? Is this clear? Again, this is all for your own personal self. So it is not for, we are not competing with anyone. Okay, sure, sure. Uh, Let me know if you have rated yourself quickly on that same piece of paper, right? Like for example, for product management, the first area that I is there, right? I have rated. Okay, so strategy and execution are the areas that I need to work on. I'll write work on top and strategy here, and then influence here. Okay, once done, please press yes if you're done it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Thank you. Please type in once done. I think, yeah, done. Okay. Now there will be multiple sources along which there's uh I mean first of all, right, there will be no one and there will be no point in time in your life where you would be able to kind of be expert in everything. But those areas which are crucial, for example, for me, the areas crucial are strategy and influence. Now, there are few books that are in there which I've mentioned here. Now, you don't have to buy those books. I'll make sure that those are available and kept in your LMS, kept in the LMS. So, my recommendation would be to kind of use those books, and tomorrow when we will do Google a notebook LM, we would place those resources against that, so that AI is automatically able to guide us and use the principles that are mentioned in those books. So the idea is your customized plan would be created, which will have all the resources for you against the mapping that you have done for yourself. So this is what we will do, right? We'll try to close that gap in 4 weeks, and a 4 week sprint per gap beats a 6 month MBA almost every time, because it is personalized for you. It's like stereocharged, supercharged for you. No worries, Pranav. Okay, now uh, this is the exercise which I kept, but I think that is something we can do it tomorrow also. But most importantly is, once you kind of fill in those, you have identified the role, you have identified the competencies that you need to improve and you are good at. the most important step at every level we worry about is how do I actually get hired? Now, this is one of the websites which I would highly recommend for everyone to keep a bookmark of it, and I'll share it in that as well. For example, so this website is called hiring.cafe. Uh, this website actually lists down job roles uh, in a fairly decent manner. For example, Deepak, if you can unmute for a moment,
Yeah.
mention one job role which is similar for you.
Uh, I would say risk management.
Okay. So risk management, if I type in. Now this website is completely free. Now, what it does is after when you type in risk management, it'll use AI to essentially kind of filter these raw job roles for you. And good part about it is like in LinkedIn, like in multiple other places, right? You don't find a lot of filters in there. Here, a lot of filters exist. So, for example, I want to look at only mid-level to senior level roles, and I am looking for people management kind of roles only, and I am looking at a specific set of experience set. I am looking for this, and then if I apply, it'll kind of zone down things for me, and I can also apply filters what roles have emerged in last 1 week. So I'll only apply for those roles where fresh candidature is still getting accepted. And then it allows me to choose a lot of things also. Like, for example, if I am looking for only remote roles, some people have that need also, right? All those things I can do. And I can type in a city as well if I wish to. Or this becomes very useful if you're planning to switch countries also. For example, I am looking at roles in GCC, right? Then I can type in GCC as well. So, for example, here HSBC is there, here this is there, right? So these are the kind of roles. Now, again, how did risk management come? Risk management came through a scientific way, right? Deepak, in your case, right, what was the output that was there for the first exercise that you did? What was the role it recommended?
First, for me, the top two roles were one was cybersecurity, two
Hmm.
was risk management.
Okay. So scientifically, the solution came in risk management is actually a mental fit for you, right? In first or second, it is like you can choose in both areas. Now, risk management, you would type in again, you typed in scientifically. Now you know what were the shortcomings in terms of competencies that would be checked in. Now when you use hiring cafe, you actually know, okay, these are the avenues I need to look at, not only the first level choices but second and third level choices, and after that you can actually apply in these filters that are in there, and then it compiles the list for you. Now, for example, this is the role that is there here. A good part about it is they compile in all the JD that is there. Now here it's clearly saying, okay, key skills required, CA with 5 years experience. Okay, I don't want to go, right? I'm not a CA. Right now here, associate director for business advisory. Right. So, and this is where internal audit is there, consulting, risk, strategy, finance. Okay, Misho is a great company as well, right? What you can do now is you can actually copy this job description immediately. It allows you to copy faster. And then the other tool that I actually shared last time, right, which is refine resume for me. You just need to upload in your resume. And like, for example, here's my resume. It'll analyze, it'll do the ATS scoring. You will see, okay, this is the ATS score. You can upload your resume to here, and then you can ask it to refine it. So last few weeks when I asked, right, I reached out to everyone to essentially start using the tools. So started to kind of incorporate all those feedbacks. The idea was to kind of create a very, very optimized process for everyone. Now, this is my resume that got loaded in. I just need to copy paste JD here, right? Entire JD gets copied, and then I would ask it to, sorry, let me paste it here. Entire JD is pasted, press enter, and then it'll optimize resume for me. Then I just need to take this resume out and basically kind of use it to send it to send it to my recruiters. Did you guys understood the process? What I did?
Can you repeat that once again, Navik?
Okay. Yeah. I'll mention everything in steps also. First thing I did was I went to hiring cafe. I searched for all the roles that are available. I applied all the filters that are there. And based on that, I basically did the search. Once the search was there, I searched for what roles that came in last 1 week or 2 week, whatever it is. After that, I looked at a particular role and if I found it interesting, I basically copied the job description. Once this job description was copied, I actually went ahead and used this refine resume tool, which is again created for our cohort. And I uploaded my resume and then just asked it, just copy pasted that entire thing and pressed enter. Very, very simple process. Arun sir, do you want me
Got
to
it.
walk?
You got it. Got
Yeah,
it. Got it.
yeah, okay. So now you can download this resume, and if you look at it, this is optimized for enterprise risk and governance. Now, when you apply for it, your resume getting shortlisted, at least you getting a call from recruiter. No, interview scheduling happens or not, that's a different thing, right? But this gets optimized. Now I can actually use ChatGPT to refine it even more if I see anything. Don't just blind paste this resume to the recruiter, but this process itself becomes simple. Now you have the resume, now you go to apply now, and where you want to essentially upload your resume, upload the refined resume. So your entire process becomes much more streamlined, right from the point of you searching for the roles. First level is your confusion is gone onto what kind of roles we need to approach in, because we used a tool to find that out. And then we also created a mapping for it. Then we have a competency map also. So we know, okay, which skills we need to improve upon. Then we went to hiring cafe to find out those roles. Then after finding that role, we actually kind of copied the JD. Then we have this tool also refine resume for us. So it kind of makes the uh, process very, very streamlined for us. So both hiring cafe and these two, by the way, you don't need to worry about will I forget this or not, because for that only LMS is there. I'll create a document there which would essentially kind of have all these details. And plus, in the Zoom recording, we'll have the AI summary in there. I'll streamline it even more. So you'll have the exact steps ready for you. So next time when you are applying for the job, you know the portal also where to search for the jobs. This compiles it across all, right? And across all the sources, LinkedIn, Google, whatever, Indeed, whatever jobs, Naukri, it compiles it from every place and then brings the best available, brings the best here. Then you can use. So it makes things very simple for you, and you can apply a bunch of filters also. And they have kept it free, at least for now. And then later on we'll that is there we later on when it becomes paid, we'll create our own as well. So uh okay, so up till this point, right, I actually wanted to kind of cover for everyone, right? I wanted to kind of basically kind of give everyone an idea. right? What is there uh, what is there in terms of coverage that is there. Uh, what I want you to do before we kind of take a pause and I open this forum, and if you want me to cover something again, right? I want you guys to essentially make sure that you understand all these areas. I know my career compass, personality type, and top two recommended roles, right? I want you to essentially basically tick mark against these in your like in your again same notes, right? I want you to tick marks against these, what areas you have understood and what areas you haven't. I think this one you can leave, right? These three you can leave. You can just rate on these four. Uh, Type in yes when you have done it. Anything which you are unable to take, now is the time. Please unmute and ask. And meanwhile, while you are doing this, Raghu sir, since you joined in late, we actually did one exercise. I want you to also do it. It will be very, very useful and helpful for you also. So there is a tool that I have created in which kind of tells what is it is a psychometric assessment, which if you could fill in, nothing like it. So the role clarity is there. It's not about right. I mean, it will make you clear, right, what path you want to take in and what are your strengths inherently are there. Just be brutally honest when you fill it, if you are still there. Okay. Arun sir, you have filled it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And what about Deepak, Dinesh, Pranav, Rakshit, Shuli?
I have just one doubt with regard to the last point. I have identified my unfair advantage, the competency I scored 4 or 5 on. This point I'm not able to understand. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you rated did you rate yourself 4 or 5 in some areas here?
Yes, yes, yes.
So what is your unfair advantage if I ask? Out of these, where you rated yourself 4 or 5?
Out of this, I've rated execution, influence, and communication four.
Got it. So these are the areas that you have an unfair advantage on, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
So now, thing is, for those unfair advantages, we would have to see it's about like you don't have to be a rounded personality. I mean, uh, like what you have to actually be in is extremely sharp in one or two areas, but the other areas shouldn't be extremely neglected. So the idea is we keep on sharpening those areas, and for the other areas, right, we can actually kind of build ourselves even more. Now, since we have some time, I just want to do one more thing. Now, this is notebook lm.google. Can everybody open this link? Okay, sure, Rakshit. Please take the assessment. Okay, cool. Let me know when you reach this place of create new notebook. Or maybe I want somebody to share. Maybe Dinesh, you can share your screen. Or Deepak,
Yeah,
anybody?
sure. I'll just share my screen right now.
हाँ. You sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
अच्छा. नहीं,
Is
visible.
visible now?
हाँ, it is now visible. You have opened Notebook LM. Awesome. Click on Notebook LM. Cool. Now in upload files you go. You
Okay.
in the screenshot of your career one, right?
Okay. 1 second. I'll just open that.
हाँ. अगर आपको ऐसे सर्च करना है 1 मिनट के लिए आप वो कर सकते हो स्क्रीन एंड शेयर.
1 second. I have to do that. Just a second.
हाँ. Anybody who has taken screenshots on their device itself, laptop?
I have shared to you on WhatsApp में भेजा है.
Okay. No, sir, this you have to build. So
अच्छा,
if
okay.
you can share your screen now, I'll do that. Oh, this intentionally, sir, this will be like your AI bot. This that will be completely about you. It will have all the personal details. I would say never share your notebook LM, personal notebook LM. Because it's like literally your mind, a copy of your mind that will be created by the end of 9 weeks.
So now what are we supposed to do? I mean, we are supposed to follow certain steps.
Yes, yes. Just one step which we need to follow. All the images that we have taken, right? All
Mm-hmm.
the images that we have taken, we just need to upload them here.
Upload your sources. Hmm.
Yes, upload your sources. Like in my case, I took a screenshot, right? So, whatever screenshots you have taken, you just need to upload
So,
it here in Notebook LM.
so do we need to log in? ऐसे कैसे मतलब
हाँ नहीं तो this is Google, this is notebooklm.google. This is
हाँ,
already has your Google login working in.
okay, okay.
notebooklm.google.com आप खोलेंगे तो it will
Okay,
open.
so also drop your files वाले में upload files करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ
Okay,
यहाँ पे.
so I need to save all this na, in my this thing.
हाँ.
Hmm.
Anyone who is able to quickly do that, please let me know so you can share your screen. सर आपने मुझे व्हाट्सएप पे सेंड करा है राइट?
Yes.
ओके तो मैं क्रिएट करके डिलीट कर देता हूँ.
हाँ, that we can do. मैं
ठीक है.
आपको I'll just share to you personal में करता हूँ आपको.
हाँ
And everything, can I resume it because I got the files? You want me to do that?
हाँ जब तक आप शेयर कर दीजिए.
मैंने आपको WhatsApp पे शेयर किया है अभी
हाँ
जस्ट.
बिल्कुल सर. हाँ तो अभी ये नोटबुक एलएम तो खुल गया आपका है ना. अब ऐड
Right.
सोर्स क्लिक करिए. पहले ही इसको लिखिए माय पर्सनल, यहाँ पे लिख दीजिए माय पर्सनल मेंटर
Yeah.
अनटाइटल्ड नोटबुक जहाँ लिखा है यहाँ पे. हाँ लिख दीजिए पर्सनल मेंटर. हाँ माय पर्सनल मेंटर. आइडियली ये आपको नहीं शेयर करना है किसी और से.
Okay.
ऐड
Understood.
कर जाइए. ये गूगल का ही है तो मतलब अब आपका जीमेल पे तो डेटा है ही तो अब जी
Right. Right.
शेयर करना ही
Add
पड़ेगा.
note.
हाँ नहीं ऐड सोर्सेस. हाँ अब अपलोड फाइल्स पे जाइए. अब इस पे आपने जो भी नोट्स बनाए थे ना और जो भी चीजें हैं अभी आपके पास फिलहाल,
Uh,
हाँ ये डाल दीजिए. हाँ और आपने फोन से भी कुछ
all three.
notes ली होंगी ना वो भी आप अपलोड करोगे. साथ तीनों डाल दो. नहीं, कंट्रोल प्रेस कर, हाँ, ओपन, यस, ठीक है। नाउ इस पे आप जाइए। ओके, अब इस पे आप जाइए, स्टार्ट करिए टाइप करना। आई एम शेयरिंग माई पर्सनल कॉम्पिटेंसीज हियर। What I want you to do is serve as a mental coach, serve as a coach for me. Just press enter, देखते हैं अभी क्या करता है ये। हाँ, अब आप नीचे जाइए। अब देखो ये क्या है, आपका पाथ बनाते आएगा, ठीक है। अब जैसे जैसे आप जो जो सेशंस करोगे ना, ठीक है, उसके बाद जब जब इसको अपलोड करते आओगे, राइट, तो ये इट कैन लिटरली स्टार्ट सर्विंग एज अ कोच फॉर यू, ठीक है। समझ
Yeah,
गए?
understood.
हाँ, अब नेक्स्ट चीज देखो, एक बहुत बढ़िया चीज है, उस पर क्लिक करना, माइंड मैप पे।
Where is it?
या राइट राइट साइड पे, ये देखो आप, माइंड मैप है आपका।
Okay, understood.
हाँ, एंटर। हाँ, आप स्क्रॉल करिए नीचे। उस पर डबल क्लिक करना पड़ेगा शायद, आई थिंक। हाँ, इट इज जनरेटिंग, ओके। सो व्हाट इट विल डू इज इट, हाँ, आप क्लिक करिए उस पर। यस, हाँ, अब देखो आप इसको एक्सपैंड करो। हाँ, देखो आपका पूरा एक माइंड मैप भी क्रिएट होने लगेगा, आप समझ रहे हो,
Yes.
नेचुरल स्ट्रेंथ का। अब आप समझे, आपके उससे मैंने वो जो फोटो लिखवाई, जो आपसे नोटपैड और कॉपी पेन में नोट कराया, राइट,
Yes, yes.
चीजें आपका ब्रेन मैप कर रही हैं, ठीक है। एंड ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इट विल स्टार्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग यू इवन मोर एंड मोर। सो हम जैसे जैसे सेशंस करते आएंगे, उसके बाद आपके और क्वेश्चंस होंगे, लाइक यू विल बी एबल टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस एंड इट विल बिकम इवन स्मार्टर एंड स्मार्टर एज यू प्रोसीड ऑन। सो लिटरली
Yes.
एक
Yeah.
ऐसा आएगा कि लाइक यू वुड जस्ट से कि मुझे इस रोल के लिए ऑप्टिमाइज कर दो, एंड इट विल क्रिएट अ पॉइंट गाइड फॉर यू, बिकॉज आपने उसको अपने ब्रेन के वो इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा पॉइंट्स बता दिए हैं, जो आपकी एस्पिरेशंस बता दिए हैं, आपके इवैल्यूएशंस बता दिए हैं, एंड दैट इज हाउ इट विल स्टार्ट असिस्टिंग। एंड सिंस गूगल के अंडर है इकोसिस्टम में, तो इट इज नॉट वरीसम ऑल्सो फॉर इट टू हैव दैट डेटा। एनीवेज वो इतने सारे ईमेल आपके पढ़ ही चुका है, तो ऐसा कुछ बहुत वो नहीं है, मतलब इन टर्म्स ऑफ सिक्योरिटी स्टैंड पॉइंट एटलीस्ट मुझे तो गूगल ही बेटर लगता है आउट ऑफ ऑल फॉर प्रिजर्विंग दिस आइडेंटिटी। अब एक चीज और देखिए, एक बहुत ही मस्त चीज दिखाता हूँ। अ, ये सर, आप एस्केप बटन दबो। हाँ, ये मिनिमाइज कर लो इसी से, यहीं से। नहीं 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 नहीं, वो हम
I
मिनिमाइज,
need to sit down and
ये वाली बटन क्लिक कर लो। हाँ हाँ, यस, ओके। अब इस पे आप हाँ, इसको मिनिमाइज करना है, एक बार स्टूडियो पे वापस क्लिक करना, ये स्टूडियो। इसका आप ऑडियो भी बना सकते हो, अगर आप बोलोगे ना कि मेरे लिए एक ऑडियो बना दे, मैं कार पे ड्राइव करते करते ईयरफोन में लगा के सुनूंगा, तो वो भी बना देगा। बनाना ऑडियो आप। हाँ, ठीक है। हाँ, इसका बोल दो एक ब्रीफ बना दो। हाँ, जनरेट। मस्त, आपका पर्सनल पॉडकास्ट बन जाएगा। ओके, अब आते हैं, सर आपने भी शेयर किया था मुझसे, राइट।
हाँ, करेक्ट।
तो जब तक उनका क्रिएट हो रहा है सर, मैं ये दिखा रहा हूँ आपको भी, लेकिन ये आपका पर्सनल क्रिएट करना है बिकॉज दैट सर्व एज योर कोच। बट मैं एक बार और, जैसे आपने यहाँ पे अपनी सारी फोटोज भेज दी, तो मैं इसको डाउनलोड कर लेता हूँ, मेरे को एक एक करके करना पड़ेगा। एक सेकेंड, ये हो गया, ये हो गया, एंड ये हो गया। अब 4 फोटोज भेजी थी सर आप। अब आप ये जो 4 फोटोज है, इसको यहाँ पे मैंने अपलोड कर दिया।
सो अपलोड मैंने भी कर दिया है ऑन माय दिसिंग। सो उसके
अच्छा,
बाद, हाँ, तो उसके बाद क्या करना है? व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप आपका अपलोडिंग?
हाँ, इसको आपको बनाना पड़ेगा। पहले तो इसका नाम रख दीजिए, माय माय कोच, राइट।
वो कहाँ से नाम लिखने
So,
वाला है?
हाँ,
Nevedya, let Arun sir share the screen. It will be kind of an hands-on for everyone.
हाँ, हाँ,
हम्म।
आप शेयर करिए एक बार और सबका रिविजन।
हाँ, ठीक है, जस्ट।
बट दिनेश, आपको पावर समझ में आई ना क्यों ये कर रहे हैं?
Yes, yes, I got it. Yeah.
हाँ, ये एक तरीके से वो वाली अपनी कोई भी जो आपके मन के क्वेश्चन हो ना, साइबर सिक्योरिटी चूज करूं कि प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट चूज करूं, तो वो सब कुछ आपके मेंटल असेसमेंट्स और सब कुछ कंसीडर करके बताएगा। इट विल नॉट बी अ ब्लैंकेट एडवाइस। ओके सर, आप शेयर करिए स्क्रीन। दिनेश, आप अनशेयर करिए।
1 second.
यस
Yeah,
सर।
done.
ओके अरुण सर, आपकी शेयर्ड है स्क्रीन। ठीक है
शेयर है
अभी हम।
ना?
यस। हाँ।
तो
वो नहीं, अभी तो सर ब्लैंक हो गया, पहले दिख रहा था। हाँ, अभी दिख रहा है।
तो
हाँ।
सो
यस।
दिस सो मैंने ये अपलोड कर दिए हैं सारे ना?
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ। अब इसको आप इंस्ट्रक्शन ये दीजिए, वो
हम्म।
स्टार्ट टाइपिंग जहाँ लिखा है ना,
हाँ।
यहाँ पे आप लिखिए कि कैन यू असेस मी। बेसिकली आप ये लिखिए कैन यू असेस मी। सो या ऐसे लिखिए सर, एक मिनट इसको डिलीट कर दीजिए। मैं ओके, सो आई एम पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन वन ऑफ द वर्कशॉप्स
हम्म।
and this has my evaluations done. This has my evaluations. Now based on that, I am eyeing for C-level roles, and you have to serve as my mentor. अब आने दीजिए उसका आंसर, फिर अपन आगे वो कर सकते हैं। जितना अच्छा आपके नोट्स होंगे उतना बढ़िया। तभी मैंने बोला सबसे एकदम ब्रूटली ऑनेस्ट रहना। एवरीथिंग दैट वी आर डूइंग इज फॉर अ डिफाइंड पर्पस। अब सर ये देखिए, ये इसने आपका असेसमेंट करना स्टार्ट करा बेस्ड ऑन द डेटा दैट यू हैव प्रोवाइडेड, राइट।
हम्म।
एंड इट विल गिव यू डिस्क्रिप्शन कि ये इन्फॉर्मेशन मैंने कहाँ से ली, ये इन्फॉर्मेशन मैंने कहाँ से ली, राइट। यू स्कोर 3 इन डेटा लिटरेसी, तो उधर पे आपको इम्प्रूव करना है। यू स्कोर 3 इन स्ट्रैटेजी, राइट। तो वहां पे जो है ये आपके लिए सारी चीजें कंपेयर। अब आप इससे ये भी पूछ सकते हो कि मुझे वो बुक्स बताओ जो कि मुझे इमीडिएटली पढ़नी चाहिए,
हम्म।
या मुझे कोई अच्छे आर्टिकल्स ढूंढ के दो। हाउ डू आई
हम्म।
डेमोन्स्ट्रेट, देखिए इस पे क्वेश्चंस भी लिख के आ गए, तो ये आपका एक पर्सनल गाइड बन जाएगा ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। आप
परफेक्ट।
आगे चल के इसी में रिसोर्सेज और ऐड करते आना, अपना रिज्यूमे भी ऐड कर देना ताकि उसको आपकी हिस्ट्री पता चल जाए।
अंडरस्टूड, अंडरस्टूड।
तो ऐसे ऐसे करके आप एक तरीके से एक पूरा अपना ब्रेन मैप बना रहे हो।
ओके, ओके।
तो दिस विल बी योर सुपर पावर
हम्म।
इन अ सेंस कि यार मेरे, और आपके माइंड मैप भी जनरेट करेगा, आपके लिए फ्लैश कार्ड भी बनाएगा, ये काफी कुछ कर देगा।
हम्म। हमने इसका नाम, फाइल का नाम कहाँ लिखा था? माय
ये
मेंटर।
हाँ, ये
Top
वाले
left.
सेक्शन, ये
एड रिसोर्सेज में।
नहीं नहीं,
No,
ये
sir,
सेक्शन।
उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा प्रोफेशनल
हाँ, हाँ,
कंपिटेंसी.
हाँ, हाँ।
यहाँ पे इसका नाम थोड़ा सा प्रॉपर कर दीजिए क्योंकि आप मल्टीपल नोटबुक एलएम्स बनाएंगे।
हम्म।
we can add the job description of the target roles to this bot so that he can provide us that these are the strong points, these are not the strong points, and based on that, we can start taking action.
बट शूली आपको दीपक दिनेश राइट रक्षित रघु सर प्रणव सबको क्लियर है हाउ डिड वी अराइव एट दिस नोटबुक एलएम क्रिएटेड like any questions please feel free to ask हाँ
ये माइंड मैप कहाँ दिखेगा? माइंड मैप नहीं, अच्छा ये आ रहा है, ओके,
या
स्मॉल वेंडर,
हाँ
अंडरस्टूड।
It will take some time, sir. Usually, what we have seen with Notebook LM, maybe it will
अच्छा,
take 2 to 3 minutes. And where
हाँ,
your cursor is right now, all the outputs will be shown here only.
ओके ओके, अंडरस्टूड।
और ये सर ऑडियो ऑडियो बन गया दिनेश आपका या दिनेश करे हाँ दिनेश दीपक
Yes, yeah, it is ready now.
हाँ तो एक बार आप दिनेश वापस स्क्रीन शेयर करिए एक मस्त चीज दिखानी है मेरे को अ, एक बार सर आप अनशेयर करिए और दिनेश आप
हाँ
शेयर
हाँ, मैं अपना भी बना रहा हूँ ऑडियो
यस
ना।
हाँ 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 तो वो 2 मिनट लगेगा 2-5 मिनट
तब तक
लगेगा
मैं निकाल लूँ अपने को।
हाँ हाँ आप तब तक वो कर लिए तब तक दिनेश आप प्ले करना
हम्म।
बहुत बढ़िया बोलता है और ये सबसे अरे सर मैंने लिटरली बता रहा हूँ मैं इंटरव्यूज के लिए मैंने क्या करा था कि इसका ऑडियो बना लेता था और अपने फोन में डाल देता था कार ड्राइव करते करते आता था बैंगलोर का ट्रैफिक एवरीबॉडी नोज उतने में वो मुझे सब कुछ बता देता था
एकदम वाकई मैजिकल है ये आजकल।
हाँ सर स्क्रॉल करिए आप हाँ नीचे आइए नीचे आइए नहीं नहीं आपका होगा है सर स्क्रॉल करना नीचे
नीचे
हाँ
डेटा टेबल के नीचे it should be there, correct?
हाँ 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 ये बना
या
बना नहीं
हाँ, the
अच्छा
play
This
option.
one is
हाँ,
already
play,
ready.
play.
I'm
हाँ
playing
Yeah.
it now.
ये करना ऑडियो ऑन करना पड़ेगा आपको रीशेयर करो एक बार ऑडियो ऑन करना मजा ही आ जाएगा ऑडियो में नहीं नहीं दिनेश हमको नहीं आ रही आवाज आपको आ रही होगी वो आपको जब शेयर करोगे ना जूम में वापस अनशेयर करके शेयर करोगे तो उसमें एक छोटा सा आइकन आता है शेयर ऑडियो उसको टिक कर देना फिर शेयर होगा
Yeah, understood.
हाँ एक मिनट
Decode your working style and
It's
reveal
audible
your
now?
Yes,
हाँ
yes.
absolute best career matches. First, let's look at your core profile. Your Holland's code is IRA, investigative, realistic, and artistic. You scored a solid 7 in investigative, backed by heavy 6s in realistic, artistic, and conventional. But here's the kicker. Your enterprising score is a flat 0. So, what does that actually mean? Well, you're a quiet, analytical builder, kinda. Like a brilliant detective, not a flashy promoter or salesperson. Second, with that highly analytical profile, your absolute number one career match is cybersecurity and InfoSec at an 84% fit. This domain is all about defending the enterprise. And hey, it's slated to be the highest paying, fastest growing sector of 2026. It perfectly uses your natural strengths, adversarial thinking, high stakes decisions under pressure, and deep technical focus. Now you might wonder, wait, how does an artistic trait fit into the rigid world of cyber? Well, it's actually your secret weapon, fueling the highly creative problem solving you need to design complex security architecture. Finally, let's check your backup plans. Your second match is operations and supply chain at an 83% fit, which is literally about running the machine through logistics and fulfillment. Right behind that is risk, compliance, and GRC at 76%. You know, if cybersecurity is about defending the enterprise, operations is about running it. So you just got to ask yourself, do you prefer guarding the fortress or making sure the trains run on time? Ultimately, your highly analytical, hands-on nature makes you a natural problem solver, perfectly wired to defend the digital frontier in cybersecurity or optimize complex operations.
कैसा था सर
या
दिनेश आपको कैसा मस्त देखो उसने
It is ready.
मैपिंग भी कर दी वो क्वेश्चन भी आंसर कर दिया कि यार आर्टिस्टिक कैसे वो कर सकते हो ठीक है नाउ स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू दीज पॉडकास्ट राज शमानी को सुन के कोई फायदा नहीं है खुद का राजशर्मा नहीं बना सकते, आपका खुद के पॉडकास्ट हो सकते हैं। एंड दिस कैन एक्चुअली डू इट फॉर वंडर्स फॉर बुक्स ऑल्सो। आप अपनी बुक डाल लीजिए, बुक का उसको बोल लीजिए 10 मिनट की समरी बना दे। तो एवरीथिंग दैट वी विल डू एज वी प्रोग्रेस ऑन विल बी इंक्रीमेंटल वर्क ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट। ये जो नोटबुक LM है, एंड फॉर दोज ऑफ यू हु विल बी वाचिंग video of this will be one of the superpowers that you will carry. This is something which will be linked to your Gmail account wherever you go. This will essentially serve as a coach for you, and it will answer most of the questions for you. Cool. So I think we'll take a pause here. आज का session, so we'll usually try to complete a little bit beforehand also, keep some time for questions also. But yeah, I mean, we'll start moving towards a little bit more technical sides and everything. And I just wanted to kind of spend time today on कि हम जो कुछ भी learn करेंगे वो बिल्कुल ही practical होने वाला, like that is my main focus. Yep. होप एवरीवन एंजॉयड दिस सेशन। काफी कुछ करा आज हमने, तो मतलब होपफुली कुछ नया सीखने मिला, एंड या दैट वाज द गोल। ओके, सो या वी आर डन फॉर इट। कुछ भी क्वेश्चन हो प्लीज पूछे, आई एम
Hi,
पॉजिटिव।